Most often I see people talking about earning more money in terms of I want more salary, I want increase in my bonus, increase in my incentive. However, what they actually don't talk about is how effectively and how efficiently I want to manage my money also. It's your hard-earned money. You have worked really hard whole month and then you get your salary in your bank account, right? So why aren't you looking at that, where all am I spending money? So this money that you're earning with a lot of hard work that you're putting in needs to be saved, needs to be invested, and needs to be spent very thoughtfully by you to ensure that you have long-term stability and liquidity with you. So how do you do that? You must be thinking, it's very easy to say that, but maybe salary aati hai aur ekdam se kharch ho jati hai. I don't even know where my money is going. Well, then let me share with you some tips, because how I manage my money. So I'm going to share with you some tips which I learned from my father. I learned from few people around me who were managing their money very, very smartly. And then I realized that, it keeps you stress free, because then you don't need to be worried about how much money do I have in my bank account. Will I sail through this entire month? What if tomorrow any medical emergency comes on my head? What if my parents need some money from me because of some housework that they're getting done and hence I need to support them? What if your kids need some money last minute, something comes up and you have to go and attend some family function or something of that sort, and then you're like stuck ki bhai ab paise kahan se aayenge, right? So stay tuned with me till the end of the video, as I'm going to share with you how you can manage your hard-earned money. Hello everyone, this is Sonia, your companion and host on Thinking Out Loud Thursdays. And of course, let the ideas keep brewing and let's have a coffee together. So let's get started. The first thing what you need to do is you need to understand your income. Up now you must be wondering, what do you mean by understand my income? I know what salary I'm drawing. No, there are various sources of income that you might be having apart from your monthly salary that is coming to you, right? Maybe there are some sources that the company is only providing to you, right? So you have apart from your salary, you must be getting some incentives, you must be getting some bonuses, you must be getting some travel allowance, your uniform allowance, some allowances that the company must be paying you. So you need to figure out what is your total income that is coming to you after the taxes have been deducted. Maybe, you have some money coming in from your family, some investments that you've done. So you're getting some money from that. So you need to list down what are your total sources of income after deduction of taxes, right? So it's very simple. Look at your monthly and your quarterly, because sometimes what you have is you've got fixed and your variable salaries. So maybe the variable salary is not coming to you every month. Maybe it's coming at the end of the quarter, and hence, so you could look at what is your monthly income coming in hand to you and your quarterly income that is coming in hand to you. Simple. All you have to do is first understand your income. Once you've done that, next what you need to do is track your expenses. Be honest to yourself when you're tracking your expenses, right? How do you track your expenses? Take a diary with you, or you can open up an Excel sheet and maintain that Excel sheet on a monthly basis. Be very true to yourself when you're filling in details in that, and list out all the expenses that you have for the month. That could be your fixed and variable expenses, right? So like your salary is fixed and variable, even your expenses are fixed and variable. Now, fixed expenses could be your house that you're paying rent, you're paying some insurance premiums that you're paying, some healthcare that you're paying for. If you've got kids, then the kids' school fees you're paying for. So whatever is your fixed outgo, that will go automatically only. There is nothing you can do that, okay, fine, this month I'll reduce this amount, maybe next month I'll compensate for it. No, because agar rent hai, the owner, you have to pay that rent. So you can't tell the owner, this month I'll pay you this much, next month I'll adjust in that. The owner will not accept it. So these are your fixed expenses. There is no two ways about it. Now, variable expenses are something that you can control. Some months, it will be more on the higher side, some months it will be on the lesser side. Now these could be your groceries, your transportation, which is your conveyance. If you've got a bike, you're spending on petrol, you're spending on maintenance of the petrol, servicing and all that you're doing, your groceries, your dining out, you're going for movies, you're going for a spa, you're going for whatever, meeting up, entertainment expenses, right? So bucket your expenses into fixed and variable. Now, once you bucketed your expenses into fixed and variable, next what you can do is review your bank statement and your credit card statement. How many of us actually, when your credit card statement comes, you only look at, okay, fine, what is the total bill? How many of us actually go through line by line the expense that was done throughout the month? How many of us actually look at our bank statements? पहले बहुत होता था कि आपकी बैंक स्टेटमेंट आती थी, आपके घर पे डिलीवर होती थी. नाउ विद ऑल द डिजिटलाइजेशन, एवरीथिंग इज ऑन योर फोन. यू डोंट फील द नीड कि ओके फाइन, मेरे फोन में दिख रहा है कि मैंने क्या एक्सपेंस किया है. बट एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ, व्हेन यू स्टार्ट रिव्यूइंग योर एंटायर मंथ स्पेंडिंग्स, is when you will realize that कहां पे आप लोगों ने बेफिजूल खर्चा कर दिया, कहां पे आपको नहीं करना चाहिए था, या I had planned for that, but उसके लिए पैसे ही नहीं बचे. So you will then realize how you are spending your money. So track your expenses by first bucketing your expenses into fixed and variable, and then also look at your monthly statement of both your credit card and your bank statement, right? So if you're making a lot of payment through your paying apps like Google Pay, Paytm, or you're using any other apps, then at the end of the month, make a checklist, take a printout, or in your phone itself, just see which were the mandatory expenses, which were like fizul mein ho gaya kharcha, any impulsive buying that you did, and hence you're like regretting, oh, why did I just overshot my budget? So look at, analyze, how are you spending? That will also tell you a lot about yourself, that whether you're an impulsive spender or you're very cautious. You think through each and every money that you're spending as to, is this something really required at the moment? Can I postpone this expense because it's not needed at the moment? After you've done that, next is categorize your expenses. Now you'll say, Sonia, हमने track करने के लिए, we've already made a list of all our expenses. Now why do we need to categorize the expenses? Now when you make the list of those expenses, आपने 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, आपने सारा फिक्स्ड एंड वेरिएबल आप लिखते गए कि रेंट इतना है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का बिल, वाटर का बिल, टेलीफोन, एंड देन योर ग्रोसरीज, यू स्पेंड ऑन पेट्रोल, कितनी बार भरवाया आपने महीने में, आपने क्रेडिट कार्ड से ये पेमेंट करी है, एक्सेट्रा. सो you had just as a sequence, you wrote down everything. Now when I say categorize your expenses, is very smartly you're going to manage your income also. So for example, you can make categories of house. के अंदर आपका क्या आ गया? Your rent, your electricity, your water bill, your Tata Sky, if you've got some subscription in the home. So all that you can put in that bucket list, whatever expenses that are fixed and going from your pocket in terms of towards your home, right? So after you've done home, you can make the next category as transport or conveyance, which can take care of your petrol, your maintenance of your whichever vehicle that you have, or if you're taking a metro, or you take a cab, or you take an auto. So you put everything in your conveyance or transportation. Next could be groceries. Everything that is required for your kitchen, your milk, sugar, lentils and atta and all of that, curd, juices, whatever is required for your kitchen, you are putting that into one bucket. Be it veg, non-veg, no matter what, it's all coming in. So once you've put in groceries, next you can also look at healthcare. So if you're undergoing some treatment, or you've taken some health insurance premium that you're paying, so you put all that in that healthcare bucket, and you also just keep a little buffer in case you fall sick, or you got fever, or you get cold. Hence you just want to keep a buffer of say 1,000 rupees or whatever percentage, which I'll come to now. So you've kept a bucket for healthcare. Next, any debt that you're running? Do you have any loans running? Do you have any credit card payments that you have to do? Any larger debt that is on your head? And of course, the next is category as savings and emergency fund. So in that, whatever savings that you're doing in terms of your any PPFs that you've taken, any mutual funds that you've taken, anything that is not leading for an immediate expenditure, but that is for your future, any investment that you've done for your future, right? So make that into one category. Now, when you made all of these categories, say your monthly salary is say 50,000 or 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh, whatever is your monthly salary, you allocate percentages to each of your categories, right? House mein kitna percentage you want to give, say 20%, groceries you want to give 10%, or towards transportation you want to keep say 5% or 10% or 7%. So you allocate percentages, or you can put amounts also. And in my last video, I'd also shared with you a 50-30-20 rule, or you could follow a 70-20-10 rule also, where it says you keep your majority of your money for doing expenses that are mandatory for your comfortable living, like your rent, your electricity, your transportation, your premiums that you're paying, etc. These are your mandatory expenses. And the next category is something to take care of your desires and your aspirations, and taking care of your extra luxuries, like you want to go for a spa, you want to go out and you want to dine outside, you want to go and watch a cricket match in a stadium. So these are those expenses that you are pampering yourself with. You are following your passion, something that excites you and that keeps you happy, and you're experiencing some luxury in life. So that you can keep it as a 30. So if you're following a 70-20-10 rule, then 20% of your monthly income you should allocate to that. And the balance money is for your savings and any emergency fund that you have, right? So either you can follow these rules of 50-30-20, or you can follow the rule of 70-20-10 if you've just started your career, because you've just started working out of college, and now you want to experience the freedom of earning and then spending your own money. But as you are working and the years are passing by, you're becoming more responsible, you're becoming more accountable towards your own hard-earned money. So then maybe you can shift to a 50-30-20 rule, but make sure that you're able to balance your spendings and your investments very, very diligently. Once you've done that, the next what you can do is ask yourself a question, that what is my financial goal for this month, or for this quarter, or for this year, if the new year has just started, right? So ask yourself this question: what is my financial goal? It could be as simple as that I want to take a vacation this month, or I want to buy a new car this month, or I want to invest in a new property somewhere. There are properties, there are projects that are getting launched, and so the price is good, the location is good. So I think I would like to invest in a property. Or it could be just as that I want to pay my debt. If there is any loan on your head, or I have my credit card bill pending, so I don't want to make that minimum due payment, and I want to just clear out my entire credit card payment. So it could be as simple as that. So figure out what is your financial goal for this month. Answer that question to yourself, and then commit yourself to fulfilling that goal as well. So if you want to go for a vacation, you know that you'll have to start saving for that vacation. Maybe you don't have that much of money right now, and your credit card is already coming to that exceeding limit. So you can't say, okay, fine, I'll make the entire expenses by credit card, and once I come back from the holiday, then I'll figure out. No, you need to plan whatever expenses that you're doing. Plan it well in advance, so that you don't have to face the stress afterwards. What you can also do is, this Eisenhower matrix also helps you in figuring out what is urgent and important, so that you need to put your money in that category. Or something that is urgent but not very important, you need to take care of that also. Something which is neither urgent, neither important, then it'll help you align your financial goal, or it'll help you set that financial goal as well. So if you're figuring out that I want to upgrade to a bigger luxury car, but you don't have that much of money at the moment, so ask yourself, is it urgent and important? Figure out if your this car is really broken down, it's stopping everywhere, it's consuming a lot of money from you, it's not giving you a good mileage, etc. So then yes, it's urgent and it's important. Or can you just try going by metro and you don't want to spend that money? So answer these questions to yourself, whether the expenditure that you are planning or the financial goal that you are planning for yourself, is it urgent and important? Is it falling in that bucket? Maybe going on a vacation is also urgent and important because the work stress is taking a toll on you, your health is deteriorating, you are very stressed out, and hence you need. So it's urgent and it's important. So you are the best judge of answering this question to yourself. So figure out your financial goals. The next one, what you need to do is monitor and adjust. So when you've already understood your income, you've actually tracked your expenses, you've categorized your expenses as well, you've understood what your financial goal is also. Next, what you need to do is monitor and adjust. So when you're spending money, monitor how are you spending your money, whether it is as per the goal that you had set for yourself, or you've overspent your money in some categories, or there are some emergencies that came during that month and hence you had to shift your money on that level. That itself will give you a lot of insight as to how you are spending your money. Are you keeping your financial goals to be kept in the cupboard and locked, or are you serious about your financial goals? Are you serious about if whatever is the percentage you've allocated to every category of the expense that you had kept for yourself? Or is it just that I want to look very organized person, that I take care of everything, but when it comes to executing it, फिर आप अपनी मन मर्जी के मालिक हो, you keep spending money as the month and as the weeks are going by. It's your hard-earned money. I'm again and again saying it's your hard-earned money. And lastly, build discipline. See, no matter what you do, if you're not very disciplined about your own money, then somewhere down the line, you'll do this exercise for 2-3 months. And then you'll say, oh God, now I'm a pro in handling my money. I don't need to, look at how much money am I spending on groceries or how much am I spending on my other items. And so I don't need to track and monitor. You need to make this as a habit, because if you do not follow this consistently, then somewhere down the line, you will give in to your temptations. You will start spending money on an impulsive manner, and which is not healthy for your financial goal that you have in mind, right? And how do you build discipline? Maybe what you can do is, whatever expenses that you're doing, stop using your credit card too much. If your credit card limit is say 5 lakhs or 1 lakh or 2 lakh, you are tempted, okay, I don't have money in my account, but I have money in my credit card, so let me spend. Now, the money that you're spending from credit, please understand that's a debt money. You have to pay interest if you do not make the payment. You have to pay them back. And if you do not pay them back, it's a very heavy rate of interest that you are paying. So use your credit cards very wisely. Wherever needed, use your cash or use your Google Pay or these payment wallets where your money is automatically getting deducted from your bank account. And also what you can do is you can stop becoming an impulsive buyer or impulsive spender. Now, I remember before sleeping, I had this habit of going through all these Myntra and Nykaa and all these apps, and I used to do this impulsive shopping just before I'm sleeping. Now, mind is already in some direction, and I'm going through these apps. I like a dress, I bought it, and money is got deducted, or even if it's cash on delivery. Half the time when the cash delivery, the person used to come, I used to send it back saying, no, I don't need this item. Because the next day, I used to be like wondering, why did I buy this? I don't need this at all. So now what I've started doing is, if I like certain things, I initially started deleting all those apps from my phone. Then I realized, deleting the apps is not the solution. I need to control my impulsive behavior when it comes to buying things which are not needed by me. So now what I do is I put everything in the cart. So I put everything in the cart, then I review the next day. What all I don't need it, I delete it. And then I let those things also remain in the cart for another 1 week. And then after that 1 week, if I still feel, yes, I still need that item, that's when I place the order. So what it's doing is that I am satisfying that inner thing of that, I want to buy these things, so I'm putting in the cart. So my mind is already rested by saying, okay, fine, you've made up your mind, you want to buy this item. But there's another part of my brain telling me that be very careful, your financial goal is something else for this month. So hence, I next day morning with my coffee or something, I'll go through my cart. Oh shit, why did I put these items? Delete, delete, delete. Maybe 1 or 2 items were required. So I will keep those items, but I will not immediately purchase them. I will keep it in the kitty for maybe another 2-3 days. And if after that also I feel, no, I need this item, is when I go ahead and make a purchase of that. See if this helps you, because this helped me a lot, because I was a impulsive buyer like crazy. On the fingertips, everything is so convenient nowadays that you at times regret buying many things, and your cupboard is like filled with clothes, but you still keep buying clothes, etc. Right? So avoid impulsive buying, which will actually help you in your savings and your investments that you're planning for yourself. So the key is to spend less than what you earn. So if you start spending more than what your income is, then there is a red alert. There is a warning sign for you that there's something going wrong and you have to bring it in check. So always your spendings need to be less than your income. Only then you will start investing and start saving, and then you will also look at a long-term stability for yourself. So stay flexible, adjust your budget, and adapt to the changing circumstances and priorities. On that note, I'm going to end my Thinking Out Loud Thursdays. I hope you enjoyed the content of this video. And if you did, please do like, comment, and share my video with your friends and colleagues. And yes, hit the subscribe button if you still not subscribed to my channel. Have a fabulous Thursday, everyone. And I'm going to see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.